join.
As I come in. Okay. All
Mhm.
right. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. You're here for the Maine Made membership preparation step-by-step process. Today, I'm excited to meet all of you. I am Ann Lancaster. I'm a business advisor with the Maine SBDC. Um, Next slide. And I know those that have signed up, most of you know who we are, but there are a few that do not know much about us. So I'm just going to briefly say that we are a national organization. Every state has an SPD office. Here in Maine, we have 13 full-time paid advisors. Our role is really to help move you along in whatever stage you are in your business. Next. What we do day in and day out is advise. We provide confidential, no cost advising. We have webinars live as well as a YouTube channel. We also have an e-course and we cover from startup to when you retire. So you can see all the different areas that we have general information and resources for you. Next slide. And what we don't do is we do not provide tax, legal, or accounting services. So we will often refer you to those that do. And next slide. So for today, our webinar is going to be recorded. The slides will be emailed to you. I'd like you to put any questions you might have in chat. And since we're a small group, we may just open it up for questions. And let's just start with who's in the audience right now. I'd like to know where you are in this state and what your business or industry is, if you would. We'll just take a look at that. Thanks, Jen. And Jen Booten is hanging in the background for us for IT, any IT issues. Southern Maine, home goods, glassware, mugs. You can, Melody, if you want to unmute. Hi, Tammy. You can unmute. We've got a small group, so I'm happy if you just unmute and say who you are and where you are. Would be great, and what your business is. Oh, Melody, I can't hear you. St. John Valley. Coffee and gluten-free bakery. Okay, thanks, Melody. So we have Tammy Joe and Melody. Is that all that we have, Jen, on the call right
As of
now?
as of right now, yes.
As of right now. Okay, so good. You can unmute as we go, and if you have questions, you can just pop the questions in the chat if you want. We can have a really informal conversation. Okay, next slide, please. So Tammy is Maine Made, and she has a long-standing history with the state of Maine. She started back in 2000, graduated from Thomas College in 2004. She came on to Maine Made in 2013. She's been there a long time, and when I say she is Maine Made, she is Maine Made. Um, I'm curious, Tammy, you got to tell me who is Mimi of Six Littles? What is that?
That I'm a grandmother, so and the kids call me Mimi.
Ah! Oh, okay. All right. And she lives in central Maine with her husband and loves, 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 loves what she does, right? So I'm going to turn it over to Tammy, and I'm really pleased that we're doing this webinar for you all today. So thank you again, Tammy.
Thanks, Anne, and thank you for that introduction. And it's nice seeing Brown Dog Originals and Melody, learning more about what you have for products. I'm going to go through the slides, prepping for Maine Made membership, sort of like getting all your ducks in a row, what's necessary, what we look for, And even if, but both of you are product makers, but if somebody didn't make a product, I do have a couple ideas on just how to get your product to be more marketable. So we'll talk about Maine Made in a nutshell, what elements make you eligible, about you. What's your story? Getting personal and gaining trust with consumers. Your product, what makes it unique? Is it service based? Do your photos tell a story? Photos are so, so important. Making the sale, offering e commerce, because our goal through Maine Made and the Department of Economic and Community Development is helping you expand your markets. So e commerce is really key on this. We want somebody in Wyoming to be able to purchase your product and not have to just find you at a show or go visit your storefront if you have one. So again, e-commerce is one of our requirements that we have. Do you have any wholesale accounts? Are you open to doing wholesale? And this isn't a model that's applicable for everyone. Sometimes wholesale just doesn't work. But if you want to do wholesale, SBDC is like who you need to talk to about wholesale. They can help you do the spreadsheets because they want you to make money. And it's their goal to make sure that you remain profitable. So they have all kinds of tools and resources to help you with that. And then we'll talk about packaging and follow up, what happens after the sale. So the Maine Made program's been around for about 40 years. And so thinking of that, some of you might not even have been born yet or were very, very young. But that's when we had no internet. We had no social media. And so we started marketing products with a catalog. And that worked really well for a while. And then all of a sudden, the World Wide Web and everybody started building websites. At that time, you pretty much had to mortgage your house to get a website built. And it was a very lengthy and long process. Um, but we got our website built and started getting on the social media board, which I don't like social media, but it's a necessary evil. We all have to do it. And SBDC's got some great webinars on their YouTube channel about how to do social media. So if you haven't looked at them, I certainly would encourage you to do so. So moving back to Maine Made, we have 20 product categories, and sometimes makers overlap product categories, particularly if they're in the giftware category, and some of it might overlap maybe into seasonal because they do ornaments. And so we have to take a really hard look at like what is your primary product line and look at what you're selling. Where's my arrow? Here we go. So what we provide to our members is networking and discounts on workshops. We have a lot of that going on. We have buyer referrals. A lot of times we'll get calls from like the Maine Office of Tourism if they're hosting a conference and they're looking for products for their guest speakers. Sometimes the governor's office calls and they have a special guest coming and are looking for a special gift, or it might be even their guest child. Like, what do we have made in Maine that's good for a gift for a child? And we have lots of books, clothing, toys, games, so we can do that. We also have promotional opportunities on our social media. And what we have going right now are weekly polls. And just to help that Facebook algorithm, we do a weekly poll with a featured product, and we solicit comments or answers. Usually it's very simple. And then randomly select one of the comments, and they get that product of the day sent to them by the maker. So that's been going really well. Also, members are allowed to carry our branding, the label, which is nationally recognized. People look for the Maine Made logo and on the products because it's like the Good Housekeeping seal of approval. Like if you've got Maine Made on it, then you're a legitimate business. You have good business practices. You've been in business long enough to be able to navigate some of the hurdles that people just starting up aren't able to do. So that's really important, having that label on your product. And we've done a number of different surveys with consumers and retail locations to find out what does Maine Made mean. How important is it to the consumer? And believe it or not, one of the surveys that we had done indicated that consumers are willing to pay 23% more for a product if it's made in Maine. So just keep your pricing in mind there when you're doing your pricing. Also, we engage with consumers through our newsletter, which goes out monthly, Facebook and Instagram. So, what's your story? Are you telling people what your story is? Are they getting to know you? How did you come up with your ideas? They want to know that. What is your background? Do you have any formal training? Or does a grandmother's recipe resonate with you? And that's how you started baking gluten free? And what's the unique factor that sets you apart from your competition? You got to think about that because it's a very competitive world out there, as you well know. And you've got to find out what it is that sets you apart. And it's highly unlikely anybody has the same story as you. So that's a really good starting point to set you apart from your competition. And again, using photos to tell your story is really important, and as well as your messaging. Anything that you can put on your label, on your website, any accreditations to help lend credibility to your product is also very important. You can do this on your website. You can do it, on your packaging, if you have room on packaging or labels or wrap cards, anything like that. And when you tell your story, make it personal. It's about you, not your product. These are just some of the kind of cool stories that we have on some of our products. Like, how did you get the name for your company? Squirrel's Nest. Her grandmother owned a shop in Rangeley called the Squirrel's Nest, and she still has the sign from that, and it was from the 1930s. So she kept the sign, and that's what she's named her company. Just, again, make it personal, tell your story about you. And then you tell the story of your product or service. Why are you offering this? Are you solving a problem? Especially if you have gluten-free baked products, that is obviously solving a problem that many face. Or is it something that somebody needs, something unique? And who's your team? If you can introduce the team behind the product, again, that makes it so much more personal. And do you stand behind your product or service with a guarantee? That's always very important to the consumer. Again, it's just more credibility for your business. And we talked about your unique factor, and I'll keep saying that over and over again. Um, Sustainably harvested? Do you use solar power for your workshop? Is it organic? Are you using local ingredients? And is it solving a problem? Photography, excuse me, we talked about that. A picture's worth 1,000 words, and boy, no time is it more apparent than when you have pictures up on Facebook and your website. And this is also a really good time to maybe work with another Maine maker and do some partnership marketing. Find somebody who has a product that would complement yours. For example, for your baked goods or your coffee, find a potter and then do like a collaborative photo shoot. And then you can tag each other's audiences, which helps grow your network as well. Brown Dog, I'm not sure. Glassware.
I'm a watercolor artist, and so I take my watercolor paintings and I put them on mugs, cutting boards, and then I convert it into a hand-drawn sketch, and I'm engraving that on glassware, insulated drinkware, cutting boards, and then I have like some ornaments, very home decor, kitcheny type of thing. And I'm also doing tote bags and throw pillows.
Okay. So that might be, well, tote bags, you could be at a farmer's market and then just tag the farmer's market. Here I am at the Bridgeton Farmer's Market with my filling my tote bag with. And again, you would tag them and again, increase your audience that way, or on any cutting board, any Maine cheeses or charcuterie items, perhaps, might be a good co-marketing photo opportunity.
Okay.
I love seeing when people do this because they get really creative with. Um, but yeah, here's just some examples of some collaborative marketing photos. And e-commerce. Again, it's really important to have e-commerce and also on your website. If you go to shows or if you have wholesale accounts, listing where to purchase on your website. Some people are very tactile and they have to be able to touch something and hold it and see how big it is, how heavy it is, how long the necklace is, or even pick up a bag of coffee and smell it. So if you have a where to purchase on your website so consumers know where to go so they can physically see that product, that's really helpful. Um, or where they can see you at a show or a fair, then they can go again see your product in person. And Casco Bay Soap does a great job of calling out her wholesale account whenever she's making a delivery to a new wholesale account or restocking. She always posts a picture of the store that she's restocking at and tags them in the post. So again, that's really nice collaborative marketing on her behalf. And it's always nice to see where she's going to. And follow up, packaging, follow up, add a note of thanks. Both of you do products. So if you're got it in a package it like you'd like to receive it because somebody's really buying a gift either for themselves or somebody else. But when they open that box, it needs to be really special. And if you can use eco-friendly packaging, some members of Maine Made add info about their area. There might be a great sightseeing spot, a lighthouse or a fort or botanical gardens or something like that. And they put local information, especially if they're sending it out of state, to let people know if you ever come visit, stop by and see us, and you can also go see this. You can also send a post-purchase survey with a percentage off for the next purchase. I would do that with the packaging and not an email because it's just more personal when you do it with the packaging. And that's it. That's my spiel in a nutshell. You can always reach me via email. You can check out our website, contact us through that. We also have our Facebook page and our Instagram page.